If your dog stares at you while you eat, this is what they're really asking. You know this moment. You sit down with your food after a long day, lift the first bite toward your mouth, and there it is. Your dog is already watching you. Not blinking much, not moving much, just sitting there with that impossible stare like they know something you don't. And you probably tell yourself the same thing most people do. They want your food. But what if that's the smallest part of the story? What if that stare is not just hunger, not greed, not bad manners, but a message? What if every single time your dog watches you eat, something much deeper is happening right in front of you, and you've been misunderstanding it your whole life? Because your dog is not only looking at the sandwich in your hand, your dog is looking at you. And by the end of this video, you may never look at that stare the same way again. Before we get into it, subscribe, because some of the smallest things your dog does carry the biggest emotional meaning. So why does your dog watch you eat? Let's count it down from 7 to 1. And trust me, the final reason changes everything. Number 7. Instinct. The oldest answer. At the surface, yes, instinct is real. Dogs descend from survival-minded animals that tracked food opportunities constantly. Long before bowls and kitchen routines, survival depended on noticing the exact moment food appeared. So when your dog locks onto you while you eat, one layer of that behavior is ancient. Food was precious. Miss the moment, and you might miss the meal. That means part of your dog's stare is old programming. See food. Watch carefully. Wait. Be ready. But here's what nobody tells you. If instinct were the whole story, your dog would stare at food the same way they stare at you. And they don't. Not exactly. Because this isn't just a survival reflex anymore. It has been wrapped in thousands of years of living beside human beings. And that's where it gets deeper. Number 6. Mealtime feels predictable in a world your dog cannot control. Your dog does not understand your calendar or deadlines, but they understand patterns. And one of the clearest moments in many dogs' lives is when you eat. Think about what that moment looks like from their side. You finally stop moving. You sit down. Your body gets still. Your voice changes. Your energy settles. For a few minutes, the chaos of the day becomes organized. That matters more than people realize. Dogs are deeply sensitive to predictability. Routine helps them feel secure. So when your dog watches you eat, they may be drawn not just to the food, but to the stability of the ritual. This is one of the few moments in the day that always makes sense. And sometimes, what your dog wants most is not the bite. It's the certainty. It's your presence in a familiar pattern. It's the comfort of knowing everything is normal right now. But wait, because the stare gets even more personal than routine. Number 5. Your dog is reading the version of you that appears at the table. Dogs are brilliant emotional observers. They study faces, posture, breathing, and tone. During meals, you become easier to read. You're not rushing through the house. You're not leaving. You're not staring at your dog while asking for a behavior. You're simply there. And in many homes, that version of you is calmer than usual. So your dog watches. Not because you are holding food, but because you are briefly emotionally available in a way that feels safe. Your shoulders drop. Your breathing slows. Your face softens. You become predictable, readable, and calm. To a human, that may seem trivial. To a dog, it can feel important. Because dogs don't just live with us. They monitor us. They learn our emotional weather. And when they stare at you during meals, they may be checking the temperature of your inner world. Are you relaxed? Are you upset? Are you open? Are you okay? That's why the stare sometimes feels so intense. It doesn't feel like a dog staring at food. It feels like a dog studying your soul. And somehow, it still goes deeper. Number 4. Eating is not just eating. In your dog's mind, it can be a pack ritual. Humans like to separate food from emotion. Dogs rarely do. For social animals, eating has always meant more than calories. It signals safety, access, order, and relationship. Even if your dog has never hunted a day in their life, some ancient social meaning still clings to mealtime. Your dog may be watching an event that feels socially important. In simple terms, your dog can experience your meal as a moment that says, the group is safe enough to eat. That matters, because animals do not eat peacefully when they feel real danger. A calm meal can signal that the leader, the provider, the center of the home, is okay. So your dog watches, not just to get something, but to confirm something. You are here. You are settled. You are safe. The pack is functioning. That sounds dramatic. But to your dog, daily life is full of emotional signals disguised as ordinary moments. And meals are one of the loudest signals of all. Still, if you think this is purely emotional, your dog would probably like to object. Because now we have to talk about strategy. Number 3. Your dog is smarter than your snack habits. Let's be honest. Dogs are incredible psychologists when food is involved. They notice patterns that embarrass us. They know which chair drops crumbs, the difference between dinner and a snack, and which family member eventually folds. And yes, your dog may absolutely be running a quiet little experiment every time you eat. If they stare, do you look back? If they tilt their head, do you smile? If they place one paw on your leg, does the chicken appear? This is not manipulation in an evil way. It's learning. Dogs repeat what works. If attention, closeness, or food has ever followed that stare, your dog remembers. Very well. So part of this behavior is a psychology game. Your dog is reading the system, studying the routine, testing the odds. They are not just adorable. They are data-driven. But here's the twist. Even when staring sometimes leads to food, the reason it sticks is often bigger than food. Because what gets rewarded is not always hunger. Sometimes it's connection. Sometimes it's inclusion. Sometimes it's the feeling of being chosen. And that brings us to the moment where this starts getting emotional fast. Number 2. Being near you while you eat can feel like belonging. This is the part most people miss. To many dogs, physical closeness during important moments matters profoundly. Your dog wants participation, proximity, shared space, and a place in the emotional map of your life. So when you eat and your dog comes near, watches, waits, or quietly settles beside you, there may be a simple question underneath the behavior. Do I belong here with you? Not at the table in a human sense. In the pack, in the family, in the ritual. Inclusion is emotional safety. Exclusion can feel confusing. That's why some dogs don't even beg dramatically. They just stay close and watch, as if being near the event matters as much as the event itself. Because in their world, closeness is information. Closeness is reassurance. Closeness says, I am still part of this. If your dog relaxes when you acknowledge them with a glance, a word, or a small touch, you've already seen this truth. Sometimes they were never asking for the food. They were asking not to feel left out. And now we reach the final reason, the one that completely flips the story. Number 1. Your dog may not be asking, can I have some? They may be asking, do you still love me? That sounds dramatic until you understand what food often means in a dog's emotional world. Food is not just nutrition. It is care, relief, attention, predictability, and survival delivered through relationship. For a dog, being fed has always carried meaning. So when your dog watches you eat, especially with that soft, searching expression, the deeper question may not be about hunger at all. It may be about confirmation. Am I still yours? Am I still safe with you? Do I still matter in this moment? Because your dog does not separate love and care the way humans try to. To them, the hand that feeds is not only the hand that gives calories. It is the hand that proves the bond is still there. That does not mean every stare is sadness. And it does not mean you must give your dog food from your plate. That's not the point. The point is that your response has emotional weight. A look, a calm word, a boundary without rejection, a gesture that says, I see you, even if this meal is mine. Small actions become big meanings in the mind of a dog. Because dogs are always reading what our behavior says about the relationship. So the next time your dog stares at you while you eat, pause before you dismiss it as begging. Yes, instinct may be there. Yes, learned behavior may be there. Yes, maybe they would absolutely accept a piece of chicken if the universe allowed it. But beneath all that, there may be something much more powerful. Your dog may be watching the person who defines home. The person who brings order to the day. The person whose calm means safety. The person whose attention feels like belonging. The person whose care feels like love. That is why this moment feels so charged. Because every look carries more than one meaning. It carries survival, routine, observation, pack trust, learning, belonging, and finally love. And this is why the stare can feel almost human. Your dog is not using language, but they are using presence, patience, and eye contact to ask for reassurance. In that quiet moment, your dinner becomes a test of connection, not whether you will share the food, but whether you will share yourself with them right then. So no, your dog is not just staring at your food. Your dog is staring into the relationship. And once you understand that, even an ordinary dinner becomes something else. A silent conversation, A daily ritual. A question asked without words. Every look is a question, and every response is your answer. If this changed the way you see your dog, like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into everyday dog behavior.